And welcome back. It is another day here at the 90-Day Guide for Success, and we are continuing to roll along. It is Thursday. So, what Thursday is our day around
teams.
Yes, Marty knows it, right? This is week 6. And in fact, we're wrapping up week 6 of our Resilience and Change today. We started this journey 38 working days ago. I can't believe it, how actually quickly time is flying. We're looking today at day 42 of the 90-Day Guide, specifically around performance measures and roles. So even if you are not a team leader and you're a business owner, I think you will find today's work very applicable. So we're going to do about 9 minutes of content, then we're going to move into breakouts for about 15-20 minutes. And I want to get you to think about your weekly goals. So Monday, I asked you to think about your top 3, and I'd like you to pull those out again because we want to keep building and stacking. And I want you to look at the top 3 goals. If you haven't completed them yet, what does success actually look like? I want you to get granular. If I were to visit with you in your office, virtually or physically, what are the success qualities that I would see from that initiative? So take 2 minutes. I'm going to set the timer for 2 minutes. And I'd like you to just really get granular with your top 3 goals from Monday. And if you weren't with us on Monday, think about your top 3 goals for the next week and get really specific for yourself around your success measures. Timer starting right now. Enjoy. All right, that is our time. So I hope that you enjoyed that. You're going to have a chance to talk about this, but here are some questions to think about. I want you to pick one of those goals, and in relation to the goal, what are some of these responses to the questions? So as you think about your results, what's going to give you a high yield? Or flip side, what's not important? Okay, so we're going to actually do 1 minute bursts of 2 questions at a time. You're going to have a chance to pick an either or try to just look at both. So again, we got to get discerning. We have so many things we could be doing in any given day. I want to use this next sort of 5 minutes to help you get discerned on some of the strategies you could be using around your goals. So we're going to start with the first 2. And yes, in coaching, we don't always do 2, but you now have choice. So what is a high yield or what's not important? Think about one of those goals that you really need to knock out of the park. What's a high yield on it or what's not important? You've got a minute to write down what comes to mind. Okay, next pair of questions. What's going to help in the short term? And flip side, what's going to help in the long term? If you think about knocking that goal out of the park, what will help in the short term and long term? All right, moving to another pair. As you consider your vision, where do you want to go? And what else might be necessary? And now a final question, what is out of focus, right? We're talking this whole piece of sprint today on discernment. What is out of focus for you? All right, thank you. And I hope that that was useful in terms of looking at things. This chapter, I'm not going to go deeply into it, but this chapter also touches on roles. So team effectiveness is not just being clear on what we're going to do, but also who's going to do it. Now, I know many of you on the call today are more solopreneurs, so I just want to plant this seed for when you have a team to get you thinking about who on the team might fit these roles. Who's the visionary? Who's the starter? Who's the finisher? Who's the person that cheers you on? And who is the person that looks at the strategy, that high level 30,000 foot view? Also, who might be the analyst at the team, happy to go into the weeds and look at all that layer of detail? And finally, there might be a role on your team of a problem solver, someone who's always about identifying what isn't working and thereby facilitating conversations on what you need to do. So again, you'll see on page 269 of the 90-day guide for success, more on roles. We're not going to touch that today, but I'm going to leave it with you for homework, as well as a little bit of field work tonight around the is not. I'll come back to this at the end of the call, but earlier this week or last week, I shared a little bit about the is and is not framework. And so for today, given that the theme is sort of like measures of success and productivity, we're going to continue to work on your major goal. And I'm going to do breakouts because I know how much you love breakouts. So give you like almost 12, 13 minutes in breakout today to really continue to go a bit deeper on this major goal that you want to knock out of the park. I want to give you a chance to talk about either one, the questions that you just looked at, or I want you to invite your colleagues to maybe coach you. You're all coaches on the call. So this is a great opportunity to maybe get some new questions, to generate some new perspectives or new ways of working. So Zoom has got our breakouts. We've got Cheryl, Jocelyn, Marty, and then I've got Samina and Tiff. Tiff, are you good to jump into breakout again today?
Yep.
Okay, so those are our rooms. It is about 12 minutes. I will bring you back as you look at your most important goal, the one that you want to get clarity around. Enjoy. All right, and I will go on mute. There we go. I'm going to go on mute and let this run. Actually bring open our timer. All right, we're going to have people coming back in about a minute. I'm going to look forward to hearing what people are thinking about doing in their work. And it's just 7:54 right now. Okay. Welcome back. Hope that was fun. Who enjoyed the breakout time today?
Yes.
Got more clarity, right? This
Yep.
is where clarity occurs. Actually get to talk it out. It's not being talked at, it's about talking it out. So I'm curious, does anyone want to share one of their insights or a commitment? Because we know that the public act of declaring your commitment is going to up the ante. So would anyone like to
Well,
share?
I will.
Okay. So Sabina and Marty both at the same time. I saw Sabina first and then you, Marty. So Sabina, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, yes, and I was in the room with Tiff, and so is and is not the concept I kind of forgot, but then I got on board. So it's about a workshop I need to create, and then so what is the workshop? It's like a promotion for a program, and it's the first exposure. So what I figured out by talking was that, you know what, sometimes I want to give more. So this is just like the intro. And like, you know, what it's not is, you know, give them everything, or at least try to squeeze everything in there in that small hour or workshop, right? So that was, I only have 2 sentences here, but they're deep. They're good.
They are clear, right? That is today. Remember, we're talking discernment. It's not necessarily about having a whole page. It's about having that clarity on what is the next step and what is the next step after that. Excellent. Marty, what would you like to share?
Well, my 2 colleagues were wonderful because I am signing a contract with a group, and it's the first time I've done group coaching. And so I was coming from the place of, I don't know how to do it. And both of them, particularly Jocelyn, because we've been with you so much, Jennifer, pointed out that I have been living group coaching with you for a long time. And that I can, and just the, you know, the model of how you do things. And we talked about that, very helpful, so that I can go in with the confidence that I know exactly how group coaching is going to work. Very helpful.
Thank you, Marty. And always remember, when you're with a group, it's about the group, right? You've done the work. Look at how you come back today. So would anyone else like to share what their insight or next steps are?
I was just wondering, Jennifer, is there any way that you could just quickly recap the is not for me? I really appreciate it.
Is not is great in a couple of instances. One, when we're delegating something and we want to be very clear on what that task and task success is. Remember, today it's all about performance measures. So if we have a team, you can use it to delegate a task and say, this report is 5 pages versus 50 pages. This report is all text. It is not about video testimonials, right? So we get really crystal clear on what that task is as we're handing it off. The other application, though, is what I'm hearing many of you did today. So for yourself, what will success look like with that major goal? So for me, if it's, you know, doing blog posts, the success is doing 5 blog posts. It is not doing 25 blog posts. It is focusing on this theme area, and it is not focusing on all 12 themes I want to cover in 2022. So it helps us also, back to discernment, it helps us really look at what is essential. And I hope that in that list of questions we started today's call with, that gave you some real insight in terms of how and what do you want to do, right? Like, it's actually more the what than the how. The how will show up if you really get clear on what's that one next step. So with that, that is it for today. Tomorrow is the start of a new week, theoretically, for us in week 7. I will unveil where we're going tomorrow, but just know that we will start off our call with a bit of a reflection on what you've achieved in these first 6 weeks. So I do want to applaud all of you, right? Like amazing. 7:30 in the morning every day. Many of you have been here, you know, more than a dozen times, right? If you haven't started with us at the start, you've almost been here almost every day. I think, Cheryl, are you the one? Cheryl and Samina and Tiff, right? Like you are the triad. Marty, you're pretty close second. And Jocelyn, since you've been with us in the last few weeks, hey, you've been doing it. So we're going to continue. Enjoy your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
Have a great day,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
See
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.